Hey guys, good evening everyone. Welcome to our weekend episode of our daily stock market insights. And in this video, we are going to talk about how the market performed last week. Okay, I'm looking at our index here and wow, staying flat. But before I get started, by the way, this is Miss JD and you're welcome in our channel here. You have not subscribed yet. I'm inviting you to hit the subscribe and the notification bell as well, so you're always updated whenever I have new videos. And I review your requested stocks, so go ahead and drop a comment if you have a request so I can review that for you. In the meantime, let's go back to our index. Okay, so the other week, or yeah, this week, if I'm not mistaken, last Thursday I said that we're already somewhat on a critical level here because we have officially crossed the MA20 line, and we were actually trying to do that the entire week, showing some weakening candlesticks here. And so I just feel like next week we might experience some more selling pressure here. Probably it might challenge the what you have here, the support area that I have plotted, and most likely there's a big chance that it will revisit. And if the market feels that that's already a cheap level, or whatever catalysts we have in the country, most likely it will bounce in this area. But just looking at the technical analysis, this is your support area, and we know that at the support level there could be some bounce that will happen there. Okay, so let's wait and see. But either way, this is not a representative of how your individual stocks will perform, because of course you have to go ahead and do a deep dive of each one of them to really understand the next possible moves of your stock. Okay, so I slightly moved it lower because I found this. Okay, this is how we are going to potentially move in next week. 5,690 level will be the next support if it will not break. Okay, so anything can happen. The next possible support, if that key level is broken, next would be this area, 5,452. But given that we are already on a GCQ, there's I don't think we are going to reach the bottom again. So this is just a conservative or a defensive approach of the market to the current situation of the economy right now in this time of the pandemic. So that's it. Let's take a look at some of the trending stocks. Well, I'd like to start with Dito. It had a good run. Okay, so it looks like we are going to break. Let me just verify that. This could already mean that we have broken. Yeah, this is a sign of a breakout. We might have some more breakout moves by Monday. Okay, so you had a resistance right here. If you can see that clearly, that's a resistance over there, and then half of the candlestick's body is already up higher than that. So if you want, you can just confirm if the next move would be another green candlestick. You can do that as a long-term investor. Okay, because of course for traders or position traders, I mean, that's already a bit high. But if you want to go on a momentum play here, just make sure you get in as near as you can at the 415 level, because remember this, right? Your previous resistance here got broken, and then what happened next? When it moved higher, it was revisited, but sometimes it doesn't touch the exact area because it is an area. So if you use the wick technically, because there was a wick here, so it was revisited, and same concept. So if it goes higher, if it breaks your resistance, it will retest your support and then continue moving up. So it can also do the same for our Dito over here. So it might do this, some more green, and then retest and then move a little higher, and that respects your uptrend channel. You will have a higher high and a higher low. And overall, looking at Dito and looking at the development of the towers, the constructions that they're doing in preparation for the launch of the third telco next year. I think they're on time. You'll see a lot of news about it. So that has helped in this great move from this stock. So hang in there if you're a long-term investor. We still have a long way to go. We are just starting this climb, and most likely we will see some more movements to the upside. Next is now. Let me see what happened to now. I know this was a hot stock last week, but I expressed my outlook towards it, and we are correct in that sense, because I said that it will just be on the next day it will push the price higher and people will be taking profit, and true enough, the next days after that it just went down. So hopefully those people who may have entered here were able to cut loss early, otherwise it might take some time again before it goes higher. So for long-term investors, if looking at just the fundamentals and the project of the said company, it will still do good things for the company, because in this period, of the new norm, everything's in a work from home environment, and this is telco. Anything to do in this kind of business will definitely prosper in this kind of situation. So you will see this price touching this area, most likely 2.66, and then you will see it recover. I don't think it will go the opposite direction. It will go up, but of course, it will now move according to the right pace, like this one. This one is really erratic. I mean, a drastic move will really create a sudden, of course, reaction, and that's what's happening right now. So it will touch the 2.66 first, and then it'll continue to move higher. But overall, this in the long term will have some promising future ahead. So just enter at the right key level. And this one, another reason why I'm plotting that support over there is because you have your resistance here. You look to the left, do you see a consolidation? Yes. Used to be a resistance here, support over here, and a resistance here. So most likely that is the area where it will bounce. Alright. The next is, let me just take note of that because I might forget. I'll put that on the notes or on the description section. So we were able to talk about Dito. And now, let's talk about, I know TBGI also had this one did not recover as well. So this same outlook, if you are to check out my first video about the telcos area, this is the key area that I was mentioning. It will go back to the previous resistance, will create a support over there. So this is your resistance, and what it is currently doing is stabilizing at the 0.18 area, 0.1893. So potentially, or most likely, it will just move sideways first before it recovers again. So if you want to, probably if you may have entered here, and you were not able to exit early and you want to average down, this is already a good area to average down. And when it increases in price, so this is to address those people who may have entered here and got stuck. So what you are going to do, all right, so for example, you enter at this area 0.25. Let me just get my drawing pen. Okay, I'll get a notepad. You enter at 0.25. Okay, and here you enter at 0.18 because you want to average down. So what will happen is, to ensure that you are still profitable in this case, so this, we know that this is already a support. You enter at 0.18, and when the stock moves higher and you, let's say, added 1,000 shares here or 10,000 shares here, so when it moves higher and then you see, example, it resisted at this area 0.21, so for sure by the time you enter at 0.18, most likely your average would go down to, let us say, this is just a ballpark figure, let's say your average now becomes 0.21 because you did a cost averaging. So when you see the price moving up and there's a weakness, for example, at 0.21, what you can do so that you're still profitable, you only exit the 10,000 shares you entered from here. I mean from the 0.18. Again, you enter, for instance, 10,000 shares here at 0.18, and the stock goes up and you see some signs of weakness at 0.21. You exit just the 10,000 shares, whereby you bought it at 0.18. Definitely you have a profit there. And whatever is remaining, even though it's showing green at this point, don't exit yet because you know it's going to go, because you know that to begin with you entered that at 0.25. That is if you still want to be profitable, right? And for instance, it goes down again, the buying power that you have gotten out of your transaction here, you know you're profitable there, you enter it again, and so it will bring your average into a much lower area. Okay, now when do you exit? When do you exit your initial share here? Exit it at the amount, at the level when it reaches that key area, for example the 0.25. That's the only time. If you want to just be on a break even, exit it when it reaches 0.25, not unless you want to cut your loss for this transaction. But given that you already had a total of, let's say, 3 transactions here from the 0.25, 0.18, and let's say you enter it again at 0.20 and it moves higher, then that means you already had profitable trades in the 0.18 and 0.20 area. So even if you just go break even on your first transaction, that's fine because you had 2 out of the 3 trades profitable. I hope that makes sense. The next stock, I can illustrate that in a different discussion, but key thing to note here is that even if in your first transaction or on your portfolio it already shows green because you were able to do cost average, you lowered your average by buying at a cheaper level. If you can still hold on to that stock, just wait for it to go up so that the amount you purchased here would go break even, and then you were profitable at the key levels where you bought it at a cheaper price. Next one is BDO. BDO is currently sitting at a possible support. Yes, we ended green in a candlestick, but because we had a gap down, then we are still showing red for that day. Okay, because we're much lower. So looks like it still respected this support area that we have here. It right away closed that gap between the previous day and this day's candlestick. So most likely we will see some recovery there. And I'd say the nearer you are to the 85.84, the better. If you still are considering to enter in the stock, 85.84 level is the support area. Overall, One, two, three, four. This is the fifth time where we had, this price revisit 85.84 area. And also this, okay, you're past the X date. So for those people who are already in a position for a BDO, you will have uh, dividend again. Okay, so this is one of the major stocks in the country that gives out regular dividend. The next one is, let's have that. Check out IDC. IDC is also doing, first of all, it's just on sideways technically, but looking at the MA20 line, we're now higher than the MA20 line. So I am looking at a possible, you know, we can see some bullish sentiment for this stock. This is your resistance. Used to be your support over here, some stabilization that happened here. And plus, of course, this is your MA20 line. So just in case you want to be on the conservative side, in in the event there's a pullback and revisits 1.91, that's a much better entry. No rush. I don't see this stock really flying anytime soon. We might have an extended period of sideways, and definitely 1.91 will be revisited soon. So nothing to rush. This might take a little while, but definitely if you are to notice that this is the accumulation stage. The volume, look at that. The volume is starting to show up here in these areas compared to the previous period. Look at that. Before the quarantine, the volume here is not that much, but here you will see a lot of people trading this there. And when it declines, the volume is not that much, meaning people are holding onto their position. Look at this one over here. So we're starting to as we go down, the volume is not also it's not that much. So when we moved up here and then it dropped, the people who took profit is just half of those people who entered here. So we're still in a good shape for this one. At the same time, your RSI is already at the 56 level, so meaning there will be some more, the momentum is starting to climb up. Let's take a look at JFC. JFC is also higher than the MA20 line. You have some foreign buying that happened. Let's use our MA20 as the nearest support for this stock at around 135.81. So that's or 136. I think that it will just stabilize there before it moves higher. Your RSI now is at the 55, 56 level, and also we're above MA20 with some foreign buying that happened. I think we will be seeing some more positive moves for this stock in the coming days. Just look at our MA20. For as long as that does not get broken, we're still at a healthy level, and you could start accumulating volume for this stock. MRC, if you're always watching my videos, these are just the same watch list that I have. I have not really cleaned this up. Okay, MRC, as I mentioned previously, we might see some more dips in the coming days. So if you'd like to catch it, maybe because this one is already it's triggering a possible breakdown in price because it got broken, and half of the body of the candlesticks for last week are already almost below that line. Our support, we used to have a support over here, so that means it might continue to drop. And where could it drop? Let's take a look at the weekly chart to have a clear view. Okay, so the next possible drop would be the MA20 of our weekly chart around 0.19. If you want to catch it there, that would be a much better entry compared to where we are at right now. So just monitor it around 0.19 area. The next one is tech. Tech is still doing sideways. Okay. It might take some time before this shoots up. If you want to continue adding more volume at this point, 5.66 is a much better area. I think it'll just do sideways for now, and might take some time though, but definitely the volume of the decline is starting to really diminish at this point. 5.66, let's use that. We are still at a very cheap level. If you're going to look at it in a long-term perspective, we are now at the sideways overall. And normally when the market moves down, it starts to gain some momentum and power before it goes up again. Let's see where we are at. Our RSI is still at the 48. Probably if we still have the same movement, even though it's sideways, but your RSI reaches higher than 50 or it's in the 50 mark, that could be a really good hint that it's starting to wake up, and the next possible move would be to the upside. 5.66. Take a look at that. And let's see the other stocks. What was trending? MBT. Oh, nice. MBT is, I think this is a breakout. This is a breakout for MBT. We have a breakout play here. I see it moving some more higher, and closely monitor this. In fact, you can even start adding some shares in this stock because I see it moving up some more. Notice I consider this as somewhat constricted, but in some stocks it's very, very constricted. But definitely it's starting to open up. It's starting to trigger the upper band. And we ended outside. Obviously, looking at that, we're outside of the Bollinger Band. And when we start triggering the upper band, next possible move would be another green candlestick. It will continue for several days. Look at this. When it went down, started triggering the lower band, you have a significant decline. It starts to support whatever sentiment we have in the previous day when it triggers the either the lower or the higher upper band. So I think this is such a promising setup. 36.69 is our support. Your previous resistance will now become your support. So try to watch out for that one. Okay. In the meantime, I think that is it for now. I will have to record probably another session so that we don't have a video that's too long and too boring. I hope, but even then, we were able to cover 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks in this video. I hope I was able to give some good insights that you can use for your trade on Monday. I will definitely review some more because this is my most available time of the week. So I try my best to cover as many stocks as I can so that we are all prepared for Monday. In fact, it's a payday on Monday, or no, on Tuesday. So personally, I'm also looking into some more promising setups so we can add more to our position and stocks as well. Okay, thank you, and let's see you again in our next video. Bye bye for now.